Facebook. That'd be cool. All right. Yes, there we are. How exciting. So I am doing live for the first time on hopefully both Facebook and YouTube. So hi guys. Y'all know me. I'm Erin. You might not know this lovely lady right here. This is Chloe. And so I'm going to have her introduce herself really quickly. But I'll tell you basically what we're going to do in case the topic didn't pop up. We are doing an unboxing of the Essential Oils Premium Starter Kit. Super excited. So Chloe, just tell us a little bit about yourself so everybody knows you.
Okay, so I'm Chloe, and I'm a website designer, and I'm helping Erin with her website, and we're working on a project together because one of the things you've found, and I think a lot of people have found, is that it can be really difficult if you're in that space to create a brand that is completely unique to you, especially when you are advocating for a product and that's part of what you do, but not maybe the whole spectrum. And so that's a project that we're working on. But on a personal note, I have struggled a lot with health and wellness, and Erin has helped me so much over the years with that. And one of the things I haven't really dived into is essential oils. And so you were kind enough to send this premium starter kit, and I love the smell that I could smell from the box, but I have no idea anything really. I don't have any idea. So I'll be really excited to see everything that's inside and just kind of uncover where you get started with all of this and how it can help with that journey. Because I mean, you know me more than a lot of people, some of the issues I've had with my immune system and things like that. So
yes, I'm super duper excited for you because I know we have a similar journey really with our health issues. So that makes me even more excited and even more confident because I know how much all of these things helped me. So it's really easy for me to just know that they're going to help you too. So super, super excited for you. And so, yeah, as Chloe was saying, I am redoing my website. She has been such a giant help. Basically, what you see now is what I could do myself with no design experience and as a very words-based person. But Chloe is a genius at the design element and at making it more visual so that it's just, I think, more friendly, more easy to understand. I'm already excited with what we've got, and I'm just, yeah, it's going to be amazing. So thank you so much for your help. Guys, if you have not checked out her stuff on YouTube, I think I have this set up correctly so I can show you, which is super exciting. Look at that.
Thank you so much. That's so cool. Much more advanced than the first time I went live, and I was like, I have no idea how to even share this link.
That's okay. I learned on you. So basically, yeah, if you go to that YouTube or just type in ChloeForbesK, right? They can see all of your different videos on how to create your own Squarespace site or how they can have you help them with your Squarespace site. And as you guys know, I love Squarespace so much. It gives you so much freedom. And exactly like you said, because I do so many things, because I do wellness coaching and essential oils and crystals, it's a lot to get onto a one website. So yeah, super duper excited about all of that. But let's dive into essential oils because that's what we're here for today.
Yeah. So I've opened the box, but I just got everything sitting here, and I've been trying so hard not to look at it. So should I just take everything out one at a time and you can explain to me what everything is? I really, you know what? I'm such a sucker for good branding, and I love the design of everything first off. So I've got like this, it's like a magazine, I think.
Absolutely.
And it kind of, so this is cool. It kind of like walks you through all of the different products. So it's like a product catalog. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, which is so much easier than their website. They're actually redoing their website, which is because it's a 25-year-old company. So you end up with an old website, right? But that book is gorgeous, and they redo that, I think, every year or a few years. And so you have an updated version, but you can read a little bit about all the different products and kind of cozy up with some, coffee or hot tea, right?
Yeah. So one of the things you showed me is like a tea on your website, and I tried it. And then the other thing I'd be drinking a lot of is you make this detox, I think, drink in the morning with apple cider vinegar. I can't say vinegar right. I always say vinegar. So if I say that wrong, I know that I can't say it. Yeah, so that would be great. But can I just show, like, this is one of the things I love about this. I just noticed this. So, like, when you, I don't know if I could show you on my camera here, but, like, it's kind of got, like, ingredients and how to use it and what's in it. And I love that so much because I know that first off, there's just certain smells that I love so much. Like, for example, sandalwood is one of the ones that I just love. And so it's cool to be able to go through and see that and how to use it because I would have no idea. And one of the questions I actually had was, am I right in thinking that you can ingest certain oils? Like you can like add them to food and things?
Yes. So
I was really confused about that.
Yeah. So there are three basic ways of using essential oils, which is aromatherapy, right? Aromatic, breathing it in. That's the one that we like through using the diffuser and all that kind of stuff. And then topical, putting it on your skin, right? And then ingestion, which would be taking it internally. So there are basically British, German, and French methods of using essential oils. And the French is the ingestion one. They've been putting essential oils in their food for centuries. So the reason that you don't hear about it very often is because the FDA, and I guess many other countries in the world, but for us in the US, the FDA doesn't really regulate what's in a bottle of essential oil. So technically, according to the FDA, you could have a bottle of essential oil and only 10% has to be the oil that's on the label. The rest can be anything that they want. So if it says lime, right, which would be one that would make sense you could ingest. But if they have 10% lime in there and then whatever else they have in there, that whatever else may not be ingestible. Yeah. Which is kind of terrifying because if you put it on your skin, it still goes in. If you breathe it in, it still goes in, right? So a lot of times they'll use chemicals or they'll use carrier oils to dilute it to make it cheaper, right? Yeah,
because I noticed that with like whenever I've only bought essential oils, I think once or twice. And whenever I've bought them, I think they've been like a cheaper brand. They definitely weren't Young Living. And on all of them, they said that they said you can't ingest it and you have to use a carrier oil with it or it would like burn your skin, which it did. It burned my skin because I didn't know anything.
Right.
But the like ingesting it, that was something I've always been really fascinated with, especially because I like to cook a lot. I like to bake a lot. And the idea of that just like sounds really nice, but I didn't know if that was possible. And so I love that you can do that. So can you do that with like all of them or some of them? And how would you recommend you use them? Can you just add them to certain things?
Yeah, so we should, as we go through the kit, there should be different labels. Now, of course, you got the European kit, right, being in Scotland. Yeah. So there's a couple of differences between that and the US, but the labeling should stay the same. So let's see.
Maybe I should start by taking these big boxes out, right? And then I can look as I go. There's so much stuff in here.
So yeah, so I'll show kind of a general.
This is the actual kit, right?
Yes.
I'm not very good at placing this in front of. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's got all the stuff that you get in it, which is so much stuff.
All of the things.
All of the things, yeah.
Yeah, so get the plastic off that, and I'll just show really quickly side by side. So see the difference in the labeling, white label, right, versus colored label? Okay, so this is lemon, this is thieves. This is labeled thieves for ingestion. So if you see a white label that you can put it in food or put it in water, anyways you can swallow it, right? But if you see this label, this is labeled for external use. Okay, but it's lemon. Actually, lemon can be ingested, but this is not the bottle that's labeled for that. If you have, and you may have the Vitality oil, I don't know how it comes in there, but if you get a lemon bottle that has the white label, that's labeled for internal use. Here's the funny thing. It's the same oil in both of those bottles. So technically,
Okay.
the oil inside this bottle I can still ingest, but it's a labeling question. They have to have 2 different SKU numbers and 2 different labels so that the instructions will be for the correct use.
Oh, that makes sense. That's actually really clever, though. It's almost like dummy proof, so
Yes.
someone like me could use it. This smells so good. I wish you could smell it. Well, you can because you've got them all, but everybody watching. So let me show you. It looks really, really pretty. And then it comes in a nice fancy box. And as I said, I'm a sucker for branding. And then I've got all of these oils in here, which I love. The smell is just insane. So what are some of your favorite oils?
All of the oils. From that kit, I thought maybe what we would do is go through the ones that are the same on the US and the UK. And then we'll switch over to the ones that you have. Your kit is kind of like the 2018 US kit. So they switched over based on availability of some of the oils, but the purposes are still kind of in alignment. But your kit is actually basically what I got when I started in whatever it was, 2017. So that's good. So I'm super familiar with all those oils. But some of my favorites that are in there for sure, Stress Away. So Stress Away is, which I already had out this morning, is for what it sounds like, right? So grab that one out.
We all need some of that right now.
Yes. So go ahead and grab that one out, actually. Should have a green label.
So I don't see, let me see
which
one.
Open up, lift up.
Oh.
It might be your extra.
That would be that. It's so pretty. Oh God, the smell is so good. Oh yeah, so I've got it here. Stress Away. This is the one everybody needs right now.
Yes. So that has, you see yours has a white top, right? Mine has a black top because also in there you should have 2 roller balls or 1 roller ball or something. Okay. So usually what I recommend is that you go ahead and just switch it out to the roller ball because this is a perfect one to just keep that top on so that you can just easily rub on your,
So you don't need like any extras with this. You don't need to add another oil, dilute it down, anything like that.
These blends very often are just already exactly diluted for what you want. Like, I wonder what the instructions are on this. It doesn't have anything about diluting. Some of them will say dilute with a drop of carrier oil. Shake well and apply generously on wrists or back of neck as desired. So so there's so if you look at every bottle, again, so that once you get the top on there, screw the black top on top to make sure that you get it really tight.
Okay. I think I've done that.
Once you've screwed that black top on, that actually pushes it down. Okay, so now it should feel
firm. Yeah, I think I've got it. I think feels firm.
Okay, so now
we pour it everywhere.
Literally, all you do is just rub it on your wrist, and you should see the oil come out.
Oh, I have it. I can smell it.
Nice, right?
Nice.
So this
it's funny. Like you really do feel like a little bit calmer instantly.
It's lime and vanilla are the main notes, the main smells that you get, but also Copaiba, which is actually another single oil that you should see in your kit.
How do you say that again? I will say that wrong. Copaiba.
Copaiba. If you say it very loudly and with confidence, it's right.
That's it.
And then cedarwood, and then acacia and lavender. So all super calming. But vanilla, this is a thing I didn't know until I started using essential oils, is great for support for anxiety. So that is what gives it this smell, and it's what helps not just be calming, but actually help with that anxiety part.
It's funny because I love the smell of vanilla. I noticed this a few years ago when I was looking for perfumes, and this sounds really weird, but I really love the smell of my air freshener. And I was like, why do I love this? I wish this was a perfume.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that my mom was using some fabric conditioner one day, and I was like, I really love the smell of that too. And then I looked at my perfume, which I also loved, and I looked at the ingredients on all three things, and vanilla was like the one ingredient. And I was like, I must just really like the smell. Like, it must just be like something I'm really attracted to.
Yeah.
So it's funny, like how we have those sort of, like, we seek it out without even realizing.
And that's the fun thing about having that, the little magazine, the booklet to look through, because you already know some smells that you like. So now you can kind of figure out why your intuition is to be attracted to those smells. So you can read through and say, oh, I love sandalwood. Well, let's see what sandalwood is for. And then almost always there's a direct map from a smell that you're attracted to, and then an emotional or physical place that you need support, right? So it maps onto each other. So you don't have to be a genius, a rocket scientist, a chemist to use natural products, because our bodies already know what they need. That's the really amazing thing. And of course, as I always tell people when I'm talking about essential oils, they're not medication. I'm not a doctor. I don't prescribe. I don't tell people what's going to heal them. But what essential oils do are just support your body's ability to heal itself. So you're just giving your body the support that it needs to function the way that it was meant to function, right? Because our bodies are amazing. They have the ability to take care of us, to keep us alive, and to keep us healthy, and to keep us feeling great. So that Stress Away is the one that people use first, almost always. Yeah. And then I just keep it in my purse. When I used to work at Trader Joe's every single day, or I would drop it onto diffuser jewelry so that I could have that smell all day long, just for, all of the thousands of people that go through Trader Joe's every day.
Every time you get a scary customer, just rub it on.
Exactly.
And, and can you combine them as well? So that was another question I had. So one of the things I try and do now is I try and make some more natural products just for myself. So I'll make my own face scrub, for example, with brown sugar and things, or I'll use shea butter to make moisturizer, but it doesn't smell good, right? And I want it to have something extra. And so I thought maybe these essential oils are something I could add that would give me that. And also I could combine them based on what they're good for.
Absolutely.
For whatever day.
Yes. And that's the beauty of all of the resources that I have in the Facebook group. Yeah. So for somebody who's watching this, who doesn't know, who isn't on my team, for all of our team members, we have a Facebook group. It's called Farm and Away, and it's run by myself and Michelle. So I travel all the time, so I'm the away, and Michelle runs a homestead. So we basically are helping you keep things super simple, and DIYs is a huge part of that, because I travel all the time. I don't have access to, to Amazon like everybody else, because we don't have an address a lot of the times. So I have gotten to where I just have ingredients, and then I just make what I need. So it's always really fresh, and I can always make exactly what I want. So within that group, you can always type in skin or face, right? And into the search bar. And then you come up with all the different things that we've ever talked about for skin oils or face oils. And so then you can be like, okay, well, obviously she's saying that frankincense is great for my skin, so I can add that to my shea butter. And we also have a whole DIY section. But yes, you absolutely can. And that's what I do. I just start with a base. I usually use coconut oil or grapeseed oil. Jojoba oil is great too. Shea butter is great if you're doing lotions, right? And then just a couple of drops of the oils. These things are so potent. If you're used to store-bought oils, then this is 10 times more potent, because there's no gunk.
Yeah, you can really just even, I haven't even opened anything, and the smell is very intense, but in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. So all you need is a couple of drops of whatever ones that you want. And you can make something like, this is my toner. So I just use witch hazel, and what I think this is lemongrass and cedarwood and lavender, something like that. And just the oil in there. And that's what I put on my face after I wash it every day. Super duper.
It's nice because it's natural as well. I feel with and this is something I think you taught me, actually, with a lot of if you have digestive problems or anything like that, like we forget like our skin is an organ.
Mm-hmm.
And so like one of the things I used to be really bad at is like I would try and eat really healthy and drink lots of water and exercise and do all the things that we're supposed to do. But then I would be like putting like a ton of makeup on my face that is full of chemicals.
Yeah.
And I would be using the same brush every day. And the other thing I would do is like use like face washes. And I started to look at the back of ingredient when I started getting skin issues because I have psoriasis. And when it would flare up, I'd look at the back of the ingredients and I was like, I don't know what any of this stuff is. And so like, that's the only reason I even started looking up like, well, I need a face wash. How do I make this or whatever? But I'm not good at it. And one of the things that is not so fun about it is like, it feels very plain. Like you lose that feeling of when you buy a nice product and you're like, this smells good and it makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like this stuff, these oils will give you that. But also, like you said, they're going to support whatever issues you have or just even your general self-care and wellness. And it's like, it's almost like just giving self-love to yourself, even the act of making the product for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for me, it's very important that it be simple, that it travel well, and also inexpensive, right? Because we're both entrepreneurs, so we know the hustle, and you have to pinch pennies. And so if you look at how much it costs to buy a store-bought product for your face or your hair or your whatever, right? It doesn't seem that expensive, $10, $15 a bottle. But then if you think about how much witch hazel or Dr. Bronner's soap plus a couple of drops of essential oil, it is so much cheaper. So for me, I DIY everything. Young Living has all these face products for people who don't like to DIY. Yeah. And they still have zero chemicals in them. But I still prefer that feeling of I made this and it's good for me, right? That's such a rewarding feeling. So absolutely, you can have so much fun with this. That's the beauty of the Premium Starter Kit, is that it covers all of your bases. So you'll already have things that you can use immediately for your skincare. So speaking to your question of blending, go ahead and pull out 3 oils: lavender, lemon, and peppermint.
Okay, let me get these out here. Lavender, got lemon, and peppermint. Oh, this one's tightly in. Here we go.
Okay, so let's look. So we'll take, lemon. Nice. Okay, so this is the classic trio that everyone calls LLP. Lavender, lemon, peppermint. It is a seasonal trio. So flowers start blooming, your nose starts running, right? This is the time for lavender, lemon, and peppermint. Plus, it just smells amazing. But many people will actually get either like an empty bottle, like let's say, I don't know where I put it, but if you have a bottle that you've run out of, right? You've like thieves and you've gone through it. You can rinse this out. You can actually get the label off by boiling water and putting it in there, or you can just leave the label on, and you can make new mixes. So a lot of people
will, idea,
right? They'll take, 20 drops lavender, 20 drops lemon, 20 drops peppermint, right? Yeah. And put it in this bottle, and now they've got that, and so they don't ever have to blend it again until they've run through the whole thing. And that's actually called making a synergy. So when you blend the oils together, put them in a bottle, and then let them sit overnight for at least 24 hours, the molecules actually join together. So that when you use a drop of it, you're getting an equal amount of all of the oils. Every single time it's the same thing. Whereas if you just put it all together and then use it immediately, or put it all together and put carrier oil in immediately, it all gets separated and you don't know that it's always the same amount. Yeah. So synergy, give it time to blend together. But lavender, lemon, peppermint, either in the diffuser, however many drops of each you want, or put into a bottle, or just applied topically. Yeah. All of those are fantastic for lavender, which is soothing, calming. Lemon, which is clarifying. It's great for your lymphatic system. So that's helping to move things through your body, right? And then peppermint, which is opening and awakening. So you know what it smells like when you smell peppermint, right? So actually open the bottle, take a whiff of that one.
You'll see my face. It'll be like, yes. Oh, wow. If you're in the UK, it smells like after eights. I don't know if you have after eights in the US, but we have these sweets that you get, and it's like thin peppermint fondant stuff. I don't know what it is. And then there's like chocolate around it, and when you open the box, it's like the exact smell of this.
Andes mints. I think it's the same thing.
Yeah. I think I've seen them.
Yeah. So super strong just out of the bottle. So peppermint is what they call a spicy oil or a hot oil. So it's actually cooling, but it has a very powerful immediate effect. So let's say if you put a drop of peppermint oil, under your nose or on your, on your temples, you'll start crying because it's just so strong that your body is just like everything is opening up. So that's one that if you check the label, it probably says to dilute. That's one you usually would dilute when you're putting it on your skin, just because it has such a powerful immediate action.
So would this be good? I get really blocked sinuses a lot, especially around this time of year with like hay fever and stuff. That would be something that would help with that.
Mm-hmm. So it's supporting your sinus system, supporting opening the airwaves, and it's also great on your chest. So opening all of your air passageways. Absolutely. Yeah. And it also helps with supporting the cardiovascular system, supporting blood flow. So that is so that opening all of the things and moving stuff through. And that's why, and so that's why then you add lemon, which is great for your lymphatic system, and then lavender, which is soothing. So that kind of gives you all of those, symptom soothers that you need during spring, right? So that's an example of things that you can put together. Lavender is also calming for emotions, calming for skin. And so you could put, let's say, a bottle of like a quarter of Castile soap. Dr. Bronner's is what we have here, right? And then the rest water. And then 10 or 15 drops of lavender, and you now have lavender face wash. And that's it.
I'm literally going to do that as soon as we get off here, because I have that soap as well. Like, it's not the same brand, but it's like one from here.
Yeah, so that's one of my ingredients that goes with me everywhere, because you can make so many things out of that, just that and essential oils. So that lavender is a great face oil. It's also a great pre-bedtime oil. It actually helps your sleep and wake cycle to regulate. So it helps you, the part of your body, which I'm 99% sure is your adrenals, that creates the sleep hormones and the wake hormones. It just helps to support that part of the body. So it's great for that as well.
Me, because I don't ever sleep. I have like insomnia and I'm huge adrenal fatigue. So like that's a good one.
Yeah. And so you can put it in the diffuser. You can also put it, obviously, like if you're using that face wash in the evening.
Yeah.
And I like to do very often lavender and cedarwood, because they're both calming, into my face wash or my face serum or something like that. And then if you're washing your face 30 minutes or an hour before bed, you've just washed your face and bonus added to that calming bedtime routine, right? So it's doing two things for you.
Huge. Could you put it on your pillow too? Like if you wanted to put it, you could just put like a drop.
Same bottle, witch hazel with 10 drops of lavender. Now you have either a face toner or a spray that you can spray on your sheets, like a linen spray.
That's what I feel like I need, a cheat sheet for all the things. Like, this is your toner, this is your face wash,
right?
This is your bedtime.
So if you, again, for people who are on my team or who join my team, we have a 22-day challenge that we have set up in that Facebook group. And it literally takes you through the entire kit one by one. And then also has all the safety information about diluting, has all the different carrier oils, has, about how to use it internally. So it's covering what we're doing, like a super itty bitty version of right now, covers in depth on all of that. So that by the time you get to the end of that, either you're so excited you do all 22 posts in one day, or you take it a day at a time. Now you can start using them with confidence, right? And you don't have to feel like, oh, what do I do with this one? And even if you can't remember what lemon is for, you just type lemon into the search bar and up it pops, right? And now you've got all this information for you. So
that's what I love about your group. It is insane how much content you put in there and how active you are in there. And there's so much support. And like, I've seen that challenge and I now have to go on that challenge. But there's just so much in that group that I think is the most helpful. That's what I'm really excited about, because I'm one of those people who I don't know how to use any of the stuff and I'm not confident enough to use it. So that's why this is so helpful, and obviously your group.
Yeah, and the last thing that I want is for you to spend money on a kit and then it just sits in your closet because you're afraid to use it, right? That's not helping you at all. The point is to help you on your health journey. So yeah, to set you up with those 22 posts that by the end of it, you're like, oh yeah, I'm an essential oil rock star. I've got this.
Yes.
That way you can, you can go on your merry way and try them all and start tracking the improvements that you see. So that's our trio: lavender, lemon, peppermint. Okay. So then lemon is also, brightening. So if you use it on your face, it helps to brighten the appearance of skin. This is a safety tip. Lemon and all of the citrus oils are photosensitive. So they respond to light. You know, like back in the day when we used to put lemon juice in our hair to get highlights. Did y'all do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's because it's photosynthesis. So it lightens your hair. It reacts. So it can react in your skin and make you more likely to get a sunburn if you put lemon on your face right before going outside. So I have lemon in my nighttime face serum, because that way I'm treating my skin over the night. And then when I wake up in the day, I have that brightening effect, but also the same brightening effect on your mood. So all the citrus oils are super uplifting. And then you also have the cleaning. Any of the citrus oils have a chemical in them that cuts through grease. So basically, if you drop this on a sticky spot, literally like a sticker, like Goo Gone sort of a scenario, drop it on there, rub it. It's a super powerful degreaser. That's why lemon is in so many dishwashing detergents.
Yeah, it's in everything. I feel like it's the default thing.
It's like the kitchen smell.
Yeah, exactly. So what I used to do is like squeeze lemon, and again, I can't say, I'm going to try really hard to say vinegar, right? I used to like put that in a bottle as a cleaning product. That's like something you're talking about, right? Like that you can make up your own cleaning products and use that, because that's is one of the other things. Like I feel like a lot of the chemicals that we consume, and just like we forget, like when you're spraying that spray all around your kitchen, if you've got like fruit out, your fruit's getting that. Right? If you've got like any food out at all, that's getting that. Like, and it just sits on the surface, and there's all those chemicals that we end up ingesting, and then wonder why we feel like kind of crummy a lot of the time.
Yeah, like if you read the back of a bottle of soap or household spray, it says do not breathe it in, do not eat off of a surface that it's been, like all this stuff, and you think, well, I have to breathe while I use it, and then now it's on my dishes that I'm going to eat off of. So the whole thing is nuts to me. And I was one of the people who, in, I don't know, like 2006 or 2004, when I moved out, to go to college, I just never bought any of that stuff again, because I was on my own health journey. And it was like, well, before you, and I say this to people too, before you spend a whole bunch of money on health things, just get rid of the gunk. Don't like you were saying about makeup, just either decide that it's okay if you don't wear makeup, or switch to a mineral makeup, so that you're not harming your skin, right? And then you don't have to spend $50 on these creams that also have chemicals that, all the way down the line. Cleaning with lemon and vinegar, right? I used to do that back in the day before I started using Young Living, and they have a Thieves household cleaner, which it's like $22 a bottle, but it makes, I think it's 49 spray bottles full. So it's basically like 50 cents per bottle, which is the cheapest cleaner you could ever get. And there's no chemicals in it.
And the best quality as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a huge thing, just not hurting yourself with the products that you're using, and then benefiting from the products that you're using, right?
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Like it's true. Like when I think back of like when my skin has been really like clear, and it's usually when I'm not using anything, which tells you something, right? Like whatever you're using on it right now, that's not helping you, it's hurting you.
Yep. It's just making you need the product more.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's do another one that's also great for skin.
Okay.
Frankincense. Oh, before I jump, so while you get that, peppermint also great for cardiovascular system, like we said, for breath support, also for metabolism. So
Ooh,
I
it's a
will
big one.
do, so speaking of ingestion, I will in the morning take a glass of water and I will drop
Mm-hmm.
a drop of lemon and a drop of peppermint because they're both great for your digestive system overall.
Mm-hmm.
Peppermint, especially for the action of your intestines, moving things through, and then lemon for liver support.
Yeah.
And so those two things together, um, one drop each in a tall glass of water is like the super easiest way to start your day before you drink your coffee, because
Yeah.
I can't give up coffee.
I know, it's so hard. And like, I know you've had thyroid issues too, and they say don't drink the caffeine, and it's so, I can't do it. I try so hard.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So,
part of it is because so because of the way it's metabolized, it actually keeps you from being able to absorb like thyroid medication. And that was one
yeah.
of the things I went through. It's like you have to take your thyroid medication like 1 to 2 hours before or after your coffee, right? So I would have to like wake up, take my pill, go back to sleep so that when I woke up I could drink my coffee.
Right. It's funny because that was one of the things I didn't get told at all when I got my medication, and for a long time. In fact, it was only really I've been on it for a long time now. And it's only the last couple of years I notice that now I can feel the difference when I take it from when I don't take it. And that was what I was doing wrong. Cause like I would wake up, I would literally take my medicine and then I would make coffee. And I would be drinking coffee all day long. Cause I used to have this bad habit of like not eating and just drinking coffee. Like most people, especially entrepreneurs and business owners, we just glug coffee all day long to get
Yeah.
us through. And we're like, we'll eat later. We don't have time for it right now.
Yeah.
So that was like a big learning curve for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, right? That, oh, hold on. I hear myself talking. I was trying to comment.
That's
I
okay.
think
I
I have
got
to
to
hit
plug
the
my
button to make
charger
it
in too.
go.
Should have done that first.
Okay, there we go. So, oh yeah, that's not what I want to do. Like, apparently, I can. You see this? You can put the graphics on your thing. We've just
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do before. Remember when we went live on
yeah.
my face? I had no idea what I was doing. And I
Okay.
was like, oh, this isn't right.
So we've learned a new thing just then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one thing about medication to me is that. And last night I did a workshop on hormones and
Yeah.
emotions,
Which
and
was so good.
that has so much to do with my own personal journey, right? It's just literally telling my story and sharing what I did with my hypothyroid and my adrenal fatigue. But one of the points that I really wanted to make there was that you have to decide that you're in charge of your health. Doctors are so important, but it's not their job to hold your hand and baby you through the process, right? So doing your own research, like you have to figure out things like the coffee thing 99% of the time because they're just busy people and they can't remember if they told you or not. And some of them know and some of them don't, right? So yeah, that's part of the journey is just being your own advocate and knowing what you can do
Yeah.
naturally to support you, knowing the medication, indications of that, how is that going to affect your life, and when should you take it, and all of that is so important. Okay, so I tangent there, but frankincense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to add.
Okay, so frankincense is one of the most just absolutely delightful oils. Of course, it's an
It
oil from
smells
scripture,
good.
right? Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. It has been used in spiritual practices for centuries. So meditation, yoga. I will do it for like just grounding, if you need to
Mm-hmm.
feel more centered. So all of the wood oils, all of the ones like cedarwood, frankincense, copaiba, which is also in your kit. What's another one? Palo Santo, right? They're all very grounding and calming from that sense of feeling solid and centered, like root chakra sort of grounding. And so if you're wanting to meditate, but you have a flighty brain and you have trouble
which I do,
bringing it in, that's what the wood oils are good for. For a lot of people, when they want calming, they'll go to lavender or something like that because it is soothing. For me, something like a wood oil works better just because it's a flighty mind for me. It's not less anxiety and more too much happening up here, right?
Yeah.
And so that a combination of lavender and frankincense works great for everybody because you're covered on both of those things. So I will often do lavender and cedarwood or lavender and frankincense because then you're approaching both of those things. The kind of stress aspect, but also the mind over full aspect, right? So frankincense for meditation, frankincense for kind of the end of day, pulling it back in, pulling your energy back into yourself. Any sort of sacred ceremony, also fantastic for skin. So it's in a lot of my skin things too, for the same reason of soothing and basically like just overall cellular function. If you just look up frankincense and healing properties, you will just, it's like a never ending list of all of the amazing things about frankincense. So let's, for you, also pull out Copaiba.
Okay, got this one. Got this one.
Yeah, so this
one's got a different lid. This one's like if I show you the two, you can see.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that's what we usually put on things like Panaway or anything with wintergreen because it smells like candy. So maybe that's a European like rule that there are certain things with certain ingredients have to have a child safety cap. So that's what that is.
So the child safety cap that 28 can't open.
It's so delightful.
Yeah, I like this one.
So that's another wood oil. Another comes from the resin of the wood. It is excellent at balancing your your inflammation response. So all of your muscle, joint, nerve, all of those different body systems. It's really fantastic for that. So a lot of people who are dealing with inflammation issues of any kind, they will use Copaiba daily to help to balance.
And how would they use it? Like, would it be like something they just put on, or would they put it in like a lotion or diffuse it, or just all of the things?
All of the things. So when you're diffusing, you mostly feel the emotional or the like upper chest to head results. That's not all it's doing because it's getting into your bloodstream and getting into all the cells. But the most action that you feel is it going through your nose into your limbic system and supporting your emotions and your mind. So you'll get the calming benefits of frankincense and Copaiba. You'll feel that when you're diffusing it. If you're putting it on topically and like say your arm is bothering you, say you have like tennis elbow, right? And so you're rubbing it in topically, you're literally telling your body and your brain, focus here. There's something going on. I want you to put your effort into this. And the essential oils are going through the skin and hitting this area first, right? Yeah. So if you have a specific issue, that would be one way to do it, would be just a drop of oil, some carrier oil, because that makes it spread further, right? And then whatever area you want. A lot of people use these for their knees, right? If you've got just different joint issues. So you're supporting your body's response to whatever's going on in that specific area. Other ways to use it would be just on your feet. So any of these essential oils, if you put them on your feet, they're going to go into your bloodstream very quickly. That's one of the places that our body absorbs very quickly. But also on your feet, you have different pressure points, like acupuncture points, and we call them VitaFlex. And so there's a different spot for every different organ. So you can also just massage over your whole foot, or like for thyroid, it's under your big toe.
Yeah. And
so then you're directly supporting the nervous system connection to that organ.
That's really interesting.
So
like I have, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I have like a Raynaud's syndrome, which is like a nerve issue. Is that something where it's like those oils would support that? Because it's like, if it's going through and it's a nerve thing.
Yeah, so all essential oils will help the nervous system to an extent, but there are certain oils that are specifically nervous system support oils. So our body is electricity, right? Like that's how our heart runs, that's how our brain runs, that's how synapses fire. And so there are certain essential oils that have chemicals, constituents that are supportive for that electrical system within our body. So helichrysum is what comes to mind first and immediately for me. But I believe Copaiba is another one of those, but we could actually, I could look that up again for you and give you some specific details. But yeah, helichrysum for sure for nervous system support. It's a super duper 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 expensive oil because it's one of the hardest ones to diffuse, to get and diffuse, but it's in several blends with other oils that also support that system. And so I usually use it in a blend like Brain Power or M-Grain. Yeah. Because it's more affordable. But yeah, so Copaiba on your feet or on a body part topically or diffused for that calming effect. Also great for your skin. So those two oils have kind of the same benefits on skin. Let's look at Digize.
This one I just like the name of. It's like a fun name.
So, okay, open it up and give me your honest reaction to that smell.
Oh, it's not my favorite.
You broke up.
It's like one of those things where it's like, I like it, but then I also don't really like it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's one of the...
Like, I don't know. There's like a nice thing in it, but like...
So if you take your...
I don't know.
If you look on the side and look at what oils are in it.
It's very strong.
It's super strong. So the one that usually throws people off is ginger.
Oh, maybe.
Ginger is a funky smell that we're not really, like, at least, you know, in most Western culture, we're not that used to. But tarragon.
It is that. I think it is the ginger. Like when you said it, I can like pick it out of the smell.
So tarragon, ginger, peppermint, juniper, fennel, lemongrass, and patchouli and anise. So anise is another smell that
I don't like the smell of anise. I loathe that smell. So it's probably those things.
So all of these essential oils are fantastic for your digestive system. So, so anise is in a lot of toothpaste, right? And so is peppermint. So you've got that. Ginger, we just know, is super calming for the digestive system. And lemongrass is great support for your lymphatic system, also for your liver. So fennel, we also know, is great for digestion, also in a lot of toothpaste. Juniper, I don't use juniper by itself that often, but it's like one of those related to pine oils, which is like the it's not clarifying exactly, but kind of the cleansing properties of that are really good for really the whole system, but also the digestive system. Patchouli, which is another one of those wood oils. So the calming, I think that covers them all. Tarragon. So yeah, a lot of these like spices that you would use in food are really great for your digestive system, which is good because we use them in food all the time, right? Yeah. So this one does not smell lovely, but
it's not bad. It's just weird, if that makes sense. It's like
so when I first started using it,
funny combination.
And if you think about the fact, if you put this on your neck, you're going to smell like that all day long, or at least for several hours, which then you're going to meet people and they're going to be like, what is that weird smell? So when I first started using it, I would just put it on the bottom of my feet. And then you can massage it into the Vitaflex points for your intestines or for your stomach or for your liver or whatever you want. You can also literally right on your tummy, rub it in. This is one that probably says dilute 1 drop with 1 drop of V6 or olive oil. So you could use any of the carrier oils and apply to desired area as needed, right? So over your liver, over your stomach, over your intestines. I also, this is not the Vitality bottle, obviously, but it does come in a Vitality. This is how I use it. This is not for the weak at heart. One drop under my tongue.
You just have it under there. Oh, I wonder if I have the guts to try that.
You might try it off camera so you can swig water. But so I will do that, especially if I am going to eat a cookie, for example, right? If I'm going to have Thanksgiving dinner, I will do a drop of Digest sublingually, is what you call that, which is technically still topical use because it's not swigging it and swallowing it. It's allowing it to go into your bloodstream right underneath your tongue. And that absorbs incredibly quickly. So there you're getting benefits of all of, your mouth is part of your digestive system, right? That's why all these oils are in toothpaste. You have bacteria and yeast and enzymes in your mouth. So you're getting support there too, but it's also going into your bloodstream and helping your digestive system. But that's how I usually do it. But it's not, I don't mind it now, but it's not my favorite taste. But yeah.
I feel like if you worked up to it, it would be okay.
Yeah.
So also, like if you were going to eat something that was like, isn't your friend, like grains are not my friend, legumes are not my friend, but I still eat them, right? Especially like black beans. Would that be like when you would maybe want to do that because you know that you're going to have like, you're going to feel like bloated or not great after you eat this, whatever the food is.
Exactly. So whatever body system that the essential oils support, there's two ways of using them. There's using them daily so that you are helping your body to do its own healing, right, within that body system. So for people with digestive issues, and of course, like immune issues, autoimmune issues, skin issues are all connected to digestion. So Digest Daily is really powerful for helping take you to that next level, right? But even just for support, so there's the healing support, and then there's the daily support. So for me, I don't use Digest every day anymore, although I did at first because that was part of my whole thyroid journey was improving digestion. But now it's just like the cookie scenario.
Yeah.
So, and we've talked about digestive enzymes too, right? So the same time when you would be thinking about using digestive enzymes, using Digest, which is to support the digestive system. Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to give you a better response to those trigger foods. So
you could also just not eat them, which is what I should do.
No, that's
just not eat the cookie.
So a great practice is to do the Digest first, like before a meal where you're gonna have a cheat meal. But if you do the Digest first, that's a trigger warning to yourself of like, how much do I really want to eat this? Am I? Do you know what I mean? Am I willing to put a drop of this under my tongue to eat this food, or maybe should I just not eat that food?
It's good because it breaks, like if you're somebody who emotionally eats or like goes for the cookie when you're stressed, it kind of it stops the thought process to make you think about it before it's too late and you've eaten it, which is what I do. I'm like, oh, I didn't really want that, or I shouldn't have eaten it.
Yeah.
And I was just really stressed. I was just stress eating there. Whereas if I had to do that, I would be like, just pass.
Yeah. Just maybe not, maybe another thing. So let's do next, thieves.
Okay, so I'm excited about this one because I feel like I've watched a lot of videos and things with you talking about this one. So I need to remember where the camera is.
So thieves. So that also has your the childproof top on it, right?
Yeah.
So that one has all of these basically immune support.
I love this one so much. It's like it feels like it's hugging you almost when you smell it.
It's a very like cozy fall evening by the fire.
Yes.
So clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. And it's eucalyptus radiata, which is the like softer of the eucalyptus. There's eucalyptus globulus, which is like very powerful, and then eucalyptus radiata, which is like a spa type of a smell. But most people get confused about that, and eucalyptus globulus is too strong for kids. And so then people think, oh no, so I can't use these. But no, they put the softer eucalyptus radiata in this. And then rosemary. I think I said that. So this, a weird name, right? Thieves. That weirded me out for a while. But the story behind it is back in the Black Plague, there were a group of thieves who were going around and stealing from those who were dying or who were already dead, like grave robbing, to get the riches or, the resources of these people. And they were finally caught by the authorities, but they were given a lighter sentence if they would tell them how in heaven's name they were able to not get sick. And so what they shared was this herb blend that they were using. And that's this herb blend.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that's is
such a cool story.
That's how it got this bizarre name. But yeah, so clove, which has a really, really high ORAC value, which is a way that you label the amount of antioxidant power. So super high ORAC. Lemon, we've already talked about, which is fantastic for your lymphatic system, fantastic for your liver, which is your detoxifying system, right? Cinnamon, which is a warming essential oil. So it affects your body temperature. It affects the environment in your body heats up, which we know will affect, like when you have a sickness, one of the things that you want to do is get your internal body system higher in heat, right? So all of those warming essential oils, that's part of that power that they have. Eucalyptus radiata, which is great for supporting what's this? Breathing support. What's that called? I've lost the word for it. Our lung system. And then rosemary, which is, how would I describe rosemary? It's another one of those like tarragon sort of things, like the cleansing aspect of it. I need to know what the chemical constituent is in that. I can't remember. But anyways, so yes, this at the first sign of winter issues, this as a daily support right now, right, in the world in which we live. The Thieves is what we base our entire line of cleaners on. So the Thieves is a household cleaner, Thieves hand soap, Thieves hand purifier, Thieves spray for spraying the shopping cart, right? So it's all based starting with this essential oil blend, and then whatever else they need to add for that particular product. So as you can tell from the bottle I'm holding up, this can be used internally, right? And so this 2 drops of this, or even 1 drop, depending on how strong you want it, in a cup of tea is, as you can tell from that smell, tastes amazing, right? It's almost like chai-ifying your tea, turning it into chai tea. But also just great for like that. So a hot toddy, right? So you have black tea and then a drop of this and then some lemon for when you feel like you're not feeling well, you're starting to get a cold and you want to do a hot toddy, add this to it.
Yeah.
And then, so this I usually do internally. You can do it topically, or you can of course diffuse it. But topically, you definitely want a carrier oil because it's the spiciest blend with that clove and cinnamon in there. This is one, I have a video somewhere where I show what happens when you put an essential oil directly on your skin and get a rash. I put it on my arm and I had this big like red rash for like 15 minutes and then it went away. But that's why you use a carrier oil, because it heats the skin up.
That makes sense. I've done that before with those cheap oils. It wasn't a fun experience.
Yeah, I did that with cinnamon oil back in the day, like cinnamon oil from the store, cinnamon bark. Put it on my face, and then had to call work and say I'm going to be 2 hours late because I had to let my face turn back to a normal color. So that was not a good experience. Okay, so next one is Panaway.
This one.
Yeah, so that has that same top on it. So that top is because it has wintergreen, which if a child smells that, will think it's candy. It smells.
Oh, so that's me, just the adult one. Oh, this one, it does smell like it's sweet.
So
it reminds me of something that like smell or experienced at some point in my life, but I can't figure out what.
So, Bengay kind of has that smell. Tiger Balm kind of has that same smell. So wintergreen is the chemical in wintergreen is the chemical that's in aspirin.
Mm.
And so Panaway is one oil that you have a safety precaution where if you're allergic to aspirin, you want to be careful with it because you might be allergic just to the fake chemical version that's put into aspirin, but you might be actually allergic to that chemical. So you wouldn't want to use wintergreen oil.
Yeah.
But if you're not allergic to aspirin, then you're going to love it because that's one of the benefits. So it's that Panaway. You can kind of guess what that name is for. But again, another one for the knees, for joints, for muscles, after you do a workout, right, to put it on your muscles. And you're basically helping to soothe and helping your body to rebuild that area, right? So wintergreen is a great, I guess just like for pain response support is the best way to say that. But yeah, so if you've ever smelled
like headaches and stuff, like if you've got I sometimes get headaches.
Yeah, so anything that has to do with that same feeling of nerve or joint or muscle pain, then Panaway can absolutely be used for that. So that topically, if you want to use it for pain up here, then I would put it kind of lower down because it has the wintergreen and those really opening things. Like if you put that near your eyes, you're going to cry it out, which won't kill you, but if you don't want to do that. Yeah, but even on your neck, on your chest. But yeah, for like sports related times, is how most people use it. I do have a friend that has arthritis in her knees, and that's actually her favorite essential oil because it gets her through the day. So that's one of my favorite testimonies because I don't have that particular issue. That's not like on my own health journey, which I feel like involves almost everything. That's not one of them, but to have so many people that it's helped that way, it's just really amazing to have that testimony.
Well, it's just a great thing as well because that can be extremely painful. And I don't think sometimes we realize like how powerful, I know I didn't realize how powerful essential oils can be. Like you said, not curing it, but like they go a long way in supporting you on your journey to either curing or healing or at least even improving the quality of your life.
Absolutely. Yeah. We love to say staying above the line of wellness, right? Ideally, we wouldn't dip below where we're having to deal with a medical situation. And a lot of us are there in parts of our lives, but you want to get above the line of wellness and then we want to stay there where our everyday is just good already, right? That's the goal. So we've gone through all of the ones that are in both kits. So that covers the US and UK kit. And then the US kit, for those who are watching from the US, also has Citrus Fresh and Raven and Peace and Calming are the ones we didn't cover. So for the UK and Europe kit, you have Purification, RC, and then Orange. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's do Orange. Right. Orange is super simple. So that's the closest to our Citrus Fresh. Orange is a citrus oil family. So you have that same photosensitive response, right? Yum,
it's it's literally like you've just squeezed a fresh orange.
So all of the oils from the citrus family are literally cold pressed. So they're taking the oil out of the skin. So when you lemon zest, right? That's literally essential oil. You are ingesting essential oils when you ingest lemon zest. So it's the outside oil that's in the skin. That's what's in that bottle. So you have the same support that you would have from lemon. D-limonene is one of the main chemical constituents, which is fantastic for liver support, digestion support. But the orange and bergamot and tangerine, those parts of the citrus family, are also just super happy. They're they're like a spring hug, right? If Thieves is like a fall hug, it's like a spring hug. And I like to put on my chest, on my heart chakra, for uplift, or diffusing that with peppermint and orange. You get awakening and uplifting, right? So that's a fantastic, just all day long.
It's like a good mid one.
Exactly. Yeah. So a lot of the like happy mood blends will have a citrus oil in them for that reason. So also great for your face, great for dropping a glass, orange in your drink. So for those same benefits, but also just like it's probably one of the most often seen in diffuser blends is orange. It just smells.
Yeah, I could see that. It's just an uplifting mood, especially if you're working and stuff. It's hard to be stressed out when you're smelling fresh orange.
Exactly. So that one is pretty simple. So then we've got RC and Purification are our last two.
Yeah. So I have both of these. They both have the child caps.
So RC, respiratory system. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. So that's what RC is for supporting your respiratory system. So literally on your lungs, and it is the closest to Raven in the American kit. So what is that? What is that scent like for you?
It literally feels like you're opening up. Like when I smell it, I'm like, you're getting like a full breath out of it.
Yeah, exactly. All the way down in your lungs, right?
Yeah, like not when you're usually doing deep breathing, it's almost like it's on a next level.
So that on your chest before you go for a run or do your workout, right? So you're oxygenating your blood more because you're really breathing deeply. That during fall or spring, if your particular issues tend to not just be head but also chest, opening that up. But I used to carry RC with me in my bag every day because I didn't want to use my asthma medicine. I was trying to wean myself off of that. But you get to that point where it's like a security blanket. Like I wouldn't, like you can ask Alan, we would go out somewhere and I would make him put my asthma inhaler in his pocket. And he was just reminding me a couple weeks ago, he's like, remember when you were totally healthy, but you still made me carry your asthma inhaler? And I was like, yes, that's embarrassing. But, that's a terrifying situation not to be able to breathe. So then I switched up at some point. I was like, okay, here, just put RC in your pocket. Because then if I feel like I can't breathe, I have something that's going to help me feel like I can breathe. So I can work myself back from that situation instead of running back to the security blanket of the asthma medicine when I know I don't need it. Right. I know I'm not in an emergency scenario, but I'm starting to feel that way. So it's fantastic.
Well, I feel like if you're panicking, that would make it worse, right? Like, so my brother has really bad asthma, and a couple of times it's been really bad and he's had to be in hospital. And he used to always tell me that a lot of the time, if he had an asthma attack and he didn't have his inhaler nearby, then it would almost induce a panic attack, which then you're in a bad situation.
Yeah.
So I guess effect as well.
So so you always have a physical aspect to everything, right? So that emotional, like the panic, the physical situation worse. Yeah. So for sure, just that knowledge that like, if I put this on, I'm going to, it's going to open my airways and it's going to support breathing. It's just already going to help you. Even if you still need the medicine, at least you're not going to have that panic feeling on the way to get it, right? But also because sometimes if I get nervous, I would like also feel like an elephant sitting on my chest. Like I would feel like I couldn't breathe because I was nervous, right? And again, that's where it's helping you with that emotional feeling. It's helping you continue that breathing. So yoga, exercise, but also for those scenarios where if you have a reaction to anger or fear or whatever that is a respiratory reaction, it's helping support you there too. And then,
so when you get really anxious and things, before you go live or before you go on the stage, anything like that.
Exactly.
Just make sure you got your oil handy.
Yeah, I wish I'd had it back in the day playing the flute, right? I would take my asthma medicine before performing because I would get that feeling. That is not how you're supposed to use asthma medicine. That is not what it is for. But I wish I'd had something else that would have helped. And then our last one, I think the last oil is Purification. Okay, so that one is the put a drop in the bottom of your kitchen trash can oil. That's the best way I can describe that. So
I can't open it. Child safety box. Here we go. It smells a bit like one of the other ones, but I can't think which one it is.
So there's a distinct,
I like it.
There's a distinct smell in that one, and it's based on citronella, which is one of the main oils in there. So if you think back to outdoor picnicking, you know, the citronella candles, it's got some of that in there. I think also I don't have it here, but lemon or lemongrass is in there, I think, too. So Purification for like the weird smell in your fridge. If it, you know, if something it feels like something went moldy in there, basement smells, trash can smells. It's the make that smell go away oil. So for that, and then for even just like for skin or support or all of those things where that purification element is what you need, right? So you're basically detoxifying the air is a kind of a way to think about that when you're using purification in the air. So then on your body as well, it has that same detox support. The other thing, and what most people use it for, and what I use it for, is outdoor annoyances. So instead of citronella candles, using Purification, either directly on your skin or a diffuser, you know, at the picnic table, or a spray. You can either do something like this. So if you go to my YouTube, or if you're already on my YouTube, then I have an outdoor spray DIY video. And it shows you how to make it in a spray bottle like this. And it's Purification with some other oils added, but that's the major oil, and you can do just that one. I also have it in one of those roller balls, you know, the tall, skinny ones, just with a carrier oil. So fractionated coconut oil or grapeseed oil and Purification. That way you can spread it everywhere, and you're not wasting tons of drops of the oil.
So fun story. Whenever I go to New York in the summer, mosquitoes, well, New York's not so bad, but if I ever go to New Jersey or any like more suburban type area, the mosquitoes eat me alive. Like I cannot tell you, and I get very, very severe reactions to them. So like I usually have like those candles all around me, and I'm spraying myself, and I still get bitten. So like something like that, where a spray, where I could just spray it on me and help repel some of that, would be so helpful.
So the beauty of it is literally it's just smells that they don't like.
Yeah.
Right? So that's all that's happening is they're just like, ew, gross. And they don't want to be around. I don't care
if it's gross. So you don't bite me.
So I have a friend, Stella, who also has a YouTube. Hers is Falaco Family. I think you could look that up. But she has a blend that she calls Tame the Beasts of Nature. And it's based on a blend that I had in a roller ball that I brought on a camping trip one time, and I was using it, and I gave some to everyone else. I'm like, no, don't use that spray. I got to breathe that too. Here's some oil. And it was better for everyone than any other thing they had tried. Wow. And so that is why she uses essential oils, because her mind was blown by that experience. Then she went to, I think it was Hawaii, somewhere for a destination wedding, and let someone borrow it. And they loved it so much. They're like, can I just buy this from you? She's like, no, you can just have it. They're like, no, you need to get money for this because it is amazing and it is changing my life. And she's like, okay. Right. So yeah, it works. It's amazing.
I can't wait to try that one.
So I think that gets all of them. Do you have any other oils in there?
No, I think that's everything. I have these little packets. I think this is what we were talking about before, where it's, I don't want to say it because I'm going to say it wrong. Ningxia red stuff.
Yeah, so Ningxia red. So it is the main ingredient is I actually have a whole set of these, because this is what I was telling you, right? My before and after pictures of taking a probiotic. Day 1 through 5, I just did the probiotic to see what just a probiotic would do. So
which is amazing.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I am the probiotic queen. I've been taking them since 2006. I think they are absolutely foundational to any health journey. But I went without them for 15 days so that I could do these before and after shots just to see, because I've been taking them for so long. I just know they work, but it's so much more powerful if you can see them work, right? So from day 1 through 5, it was literally like a different human in those photos. I literally sold myself on the product that I already use, right? Then after that, I started adding Ningxia Red. So on my Instagram, I think it's today, I just posted the before and after all the way day 1 through 30. But the Ningxia Red, the main ingredient is Ningxia wolfberries, or goji berry is the other name, but it comes from the Ningxia region of China. So super, 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 super high antioxidant fruit. It's one of the superfoods.
Yeah.
And then it also has, so it's high in polyphenols, which is really, really great for your digestive system. It also acts as a prebiotic. So this drink is actually what's in here. This is some water, some lemon juice, and then a packet of this. And I do this every day while I'm taking my probiotic, because I'm literally feeding my probiotics, those little bacteria, with the prebiotic that is the Ningxia.
When do you take that? Is that like, do you take that in the morning? Is that like one of the, or do you,
Yeah. So
like before you take your lemon and apple cider vinegar,
so
before that?
Yeah. So generally what I do is I wake up and I do oil pulling, right? With the coconut oil and then the Thieves mouthwash, another Thieves product. And I do that for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Then I spit that out, brush my teeth. Then I go upstairs and I get both a cup of coffee and a glass of lemon water, and then this in there. So I will do the lemon apple cider vinegar shot when I'm really wanting to support my liver or detox, or I feel like sometimes my liver gets iffy. I feel like I'm growing some gallstones, right? And I've had that for years. So if I eat a lot of fried food or a lot of sweets, then I'll do the ACV shot. But daily, it's just lemon water. Okay. And then adding the Ningxia so that I'm getting that, and I take my probiotic at the same time. Some people take the probiotic at night, like right before bed, and I think that's what's actually on the bottle, because you want to take it before you eat, like a couple of hours before eating. It's a lot like the instructions for your thyroid medicine, right? So because you want your body to just be digesting that and making sure that you digest the whole pill, and that the probiotics empty into your digestive system. So if you take it in the morning and you're the kind of person who doesn't eat for a few hours, fantastic. But if you're going to take it, if you need longer because you eat right when you wake up, then you would take it at night. And you can do all of this at night if you wanted to, but it just helps you to wake up because those antioxidants are awakening too.
Well, I mean, I don't eat for I usually skip breakfast because I found that whenever I eat, I always get that horrible bloated feeling afterwards, and I can't concentrate. Yeah. Like that's one thing. So I can't work. Sometimes I'll eat like when I used to eat a bowl of oatmeal, and I'm celiac, so it would be even gluten-free oats. Like Eddie, my partner, will tell you, like I'm just done. Like I have to lie on my bed for like 2 hours. I want to cry. It's horrible. So like I just don't eat that in the morning, or at all anymore. But something like I could totally do this. This would be fine. Yeah. So do you do this every day?
Yeah, I stopped when we started traveling. I stopped doing it because it also comes in a big bottle, and I would order the big glass bottle. Yeah. Which I think is more environmentally friendly. But then now I got to store that somewhere, right? Yeah. And so when we started traveling, I was like, I can't be storing this. But then I realized my energy level difference. So I'm either going to have to just go with these packets and just say, my health is more important than individual packets, or just make space in the fridge for the bottles, because it really
it's hard because you're on the road. Like for me, it wouldn't be such a big issue because I'm in one place.
Exactly.
And like even when I go to New York, I'm in one place for like 3 months. So
but yeah, just having all of the antioxidants in the morning, that actually helps your body to go longer, because it's giving you the basic stuff that you need. right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are a lot of people who do the business side of Young Living literally just so that they can afford for all of their family members to take this every day. If you
Oh,
watch
wow.
people's story, they're like, because it's not inexpensive, but they're like, I tried this. It made a huge difference no matter what their health journey was, because it's good for every body system. And they're like, I'm going to make enough money that every single one of my 7 family members can use this every day. And like that was their why behind their business, was just the power of these.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But like, it just shows you like how powerful it can be and what a difference like it can make to you. So I had one question that's not really anything to do with what's in this box, even though everything's amazing. And that was about the probiotics, because for as long as like we've been friends and I've seen all of your content, you have been very passionate about it. I've never in my life taken a probiotic, ever, ever, ever. So that's like something I was like very interested in. Then you did the pictures and I was like, oh, I should probably be taking this, but I still don't understand it. So I was wondering if you could maybe explain that to me.
Sure.
So that I could understand why I need to take it.
So this is the bottle, just for those who don't know. So Life 9. So what probiotics are good bacteria that you need in your gut. So there's this, what we call the microbiome, is the environment of your digestive system. And we're actually full of millions of bacteria, which sounds gross to most people because they don't think about themselves as having bacteria, right? But bacteria actually have super important functions, such as helping you to digest food, break down different parts of your food, helping you to absorb that food. They're also really important for your immune system. So actually recognizing trigger foods or toxins and sending a message to your nervous system, to send to your brain to say, hello, we got something bad in here. And then that will trigger an inflammation response, or a, what's that called? Not T cell, antibody response. So if it's something that you actually have antibodies to, right, it will help your immune system to know that there's something wrong and to actually then go fight it. But it also will help to balance the inflammation. So some inflammation can be good, and also too much is bad, right? So if you have too many bad bacteria in your gut, they can actually be creating, when they start eating food, things like sugar, they can actually create gases as they're digesting it, right? It's a chemical reaction that is causing bloat, that is causing discomfort, that is getting into the rest of your system. That's not good. So the positive bacteria have their own thing they're supposed to be doing, but they're also keeping that balance between the different types, and also keeping a balance between the bacteria and yeast, which for women is a big problem. Not just in the female sense, but also in skin, in your mouth, in your digestive system. We can tend to have an overgrowth of yeast, which then sugar is also making worse. So by taking a probiotic, you're helping to keep that balance within that system of the body.
That makes a lot of sense.
If you, some of the most recent, like face care, skin care products also have probiotics in them, because
I've seen that. I didn't understand why, but that makes a lot of sense now, especially in female products, right?
Yes.
We're the ones most likely to be affected by it.
Exactly. So it's helping, your skin actually has a bacteria and yeast balance too. And so you're helping to balance that with those products. So I was taking probiotics in 2006 because I did a detox that was based on a book called The Maker's Diet. And it was a guy who had Crohn's disease, and he had healed from Crohn's disease. And it was literally exactly what he did. And I did it with a friend who had ulcerative colitis. So we were doing it for them, like for her, because she had a digestive issue. But I ended up getting a huge benefit from it. And so I was taking probiotics when people, it was basically like dirt in a capsule. That's like what people thought of it was, right?
Right.
So I remember talking to my parents about what I was doing, and my dad was like, that's just weird. That's not a thing. And then a few years later,
Now
Yoplait,
it's like a
right? It's
trend and
like,
everything.
it's everything. So yeah, all of these different products which tell you that they have probiotics, which fermented foods do, yogurts do. But if you're buying like a yogurt product that also has sugar, which most of them do, now you're not,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Because you're just feeding all the bad stuff in your gut while introducing a probiotic. So taking the pill is still the best way to get a ton of
Yeah.
them in there. And so this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different bacterial strains. So when you go to the store, I've used, I would say, about 20 different brands, 20 different types
Yeah.
of probiotics from the store, and 3 of them work.
Well, I've looked them up and I was like, I looked through them all and I was like, I've done it. I can't tell you how many times I've just looked them all up to be like, okay, well, everyone keeps telling me I need to be taking a probiotic, so let me get one. And you look up and it's so confusing. And one of the things you said is that the sugar thing, a lot of them have sugar in them. And that, like, I feel like, oh, I didn't know that's why it was bad, but I do know that I don't like, my body doesn't like sugar and I don't like sugar, especially any kind of fake sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And like I used to have this, there was this brand of yogurt. I've actually seen it in the States. It's called Kayo. And it used to just be like, it was like coconut and then it had the bacteria in it. And when I used to eat it, it was like a magic pill. I would feel so good after it. And then they took it off the shelves. It became a trend. The coconut yogurt, the almond milk, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So then, and it's same with almond milk, by the way. It used to be so hard to buy, but it used to be like in a pure farm.
Yeah.
Whereas now more people are consuming it. They're creating it for the masses. So then you find that there's so much sugar in all of these products. So you're not getting any of the benefits from them. In fact, you feel worse. Like when I take anything else, I feel terrible. But now I understand why that is.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
You're literally doing the opposite thing of what you're trying to do, but it's because they handhold people. They treat people like children. Like they're not going to be able to eat something if it doesn't taste like dessert, right? Which is just, I'm sorry, like on my health journey, I don't need that. I don't need to be treated like a small child. I need to be given something high quality. So you can actually have a doctor do a sample to see what bacteria you need in your body. And I do know people who have had such problems that no matter what probiotic they took, they couldn't find one that helped. And they had a sample done from a doctor and they were given a specific one to take. But for 90% of us, that's not the point. The point is just to get one that has a variety, a lot of them, and is fresh. So if you one that sits on a shelf for ages, like it's living things. So eventually you lose the benefit. So I've tried 3 that worked, and one of them is like $60, I think, at Whole Foods, which, like, if you need it, whatever, it's worth it if that's the only one you have an option for. Then there's another one that is, you can buy online and it's about the same price as this if you buy like 6 or 8 at a time, which is not
That's
practical.
My dog saying hello if you hear in the background. He's like, hi, I got to get on camera too, or at least this side.
That's hilarious. And then there's this one, which I started taking a couple months into using Young Living. And it works just as well as the other 2, but US dollars, it's like 29 something. So it's less expensive. Yeah, exactly. But so that's another reason that I wanted to do this test and do the before and after, because it's not important to me to be taking something just because it's a product I recommend. It's important to me that it work, right?
Yeah.
So because I've been taking it so long, I'm like, let me just show whether or not this has a benefit, because I know these other 2 do. And I'm 99% sure that this does, but I don't want to be influenced by the fact that it's a product that I sell, right? So I shocked myself at the difference. I literally have sold myself that I'm never going to not have this on the shelf again, because it was such a giant difference that I saw. And all of that, it's not like...
Sorry.
What was the what?
I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I was just going to say, what was the difference in how you felt? Like, so you could see the difference in the pictures. Like, it's very, very clear.
Yeah.
But how different did you like feel in your body from like taking?
So that's the thing that I'm always focused on, is how I feel, right? But I can't express to you as well how I feel as I can show you a picture.
Mhm.
And so that was the thought behind that. But when I am
Yeah.
not taking a probiotic, I have symptoms like brain fog,
Mhm.
lack of energy, grumpiness,
Yeah.
and then like discomfort when I eat, bloating. So none of those things are good. But then you know how you kind of
Yeah.
don't appreciate when you feel fine.
That's true. And
So
then afterwards, you're like, oh, I really wasn't feeling great, but I just didn't realize it because you just are sort of living. You're not even. You can't like. I always say that to Eddie. I'm like, I wish I could like snap my fingers and be like, if you eat this thing, right? Like if it's sugar or something, I'm like, this is how you'll feel, and then decide if you want to eat it, because right now you think it's not that bad. Or the opposite, right? You're feeling really bad and you're like, I want to remember what it feels like to feel good so that I can realize that how I'm feeling right now it's okay. And it's just because something's going on. It's
right,
not like how it will always be.
right, exactly, yeah. So when I start back on a probiotic, and my energy and my clarity and my focus, my ability to get lots of work done, like all of that improves immediately. Plus the digestive benefits, right? But the amazing thing to me is obviously I was taking photos to show that the inflammation in my stomach reduces massively.
Yeah.
But then in the first and second picture, within the first 5 days, just how much my face changed, like the
Yeah.
inflammation, like that's what scared me. It's like, how was I that my entire face that puffy just from not having the right amount of good bacteria in my gut? Craziness. So yeah, so that my neck, my face, even my arms, my hips, like all of that changed. It was just kind of like you took me and went,
It's
everywhere.
funny how that happens, right? I notice I like have a lot of fluid retention if I'm not feeling great. And I think I've put on weight. And I'll look at a scale or whatever and I'll be like, that doesn't make sense. And then once you're on the other side of that, you're like, I didn't appreciate just like how swollen I am. And that makes you feel bad too. Like you don't feel comfortable in your own skin.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're kind of going about your day and you just feel crummy, right? So
Yeah.
like
Well,
more reason to take it.
and that's the other thing. So I weighed myself because we have a scale while we're here. I didn't lose any weight over those.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't do it this last time. I didn't weigh myself today, or yesterday, but within the first 12 days, there was no weight change. It was
Yeah.
literally just inflammation.
Which just shows you, because that's what causes the problems, like
Mm-hmm.
more than anything. Like it's not necessarily like a weight thing. It's like you've got inflammation in your body, so you're going to start feeling uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be in pain, and because you're feeling not good, then you're more inclined to make bad decisions. At least I am. So like when I don't feel good and I feel inflamed, I 100%. That's when I'll eat food that doesn't agree with me, but is like a comfort eating thing. And then you have the potential that you would go down that path and feel even worse about yourself. And it's like, what was wrong with you in the beginning had nothing to do with any of that stuff. You just needed to deal with the inflammation. Like, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Dr. Mark Hyman. I don't know if you follow him, but I follow a lot of his work, and he's the one who really taught me like all illness and diseases stem from inflammation. Like he talks a lot about the gut microbiome, and a lot of like your detox videos and things like that, they're very much in line with like his philosophy on things too. So like it just makes sense. It's almost like you're getting like all these jigsaw pieces and putting them together, and now you understand the big picture and how it all works together.
Exactly. Understanding how the body functions normally and how it functions when it's not functioning normally, right? Though that's where knowledge is power, because then you just plug in your particular issue to that scenario rather than coming up with this whole like big thing around a particular disease or a particular issue that you have, and then trying to deal with it as if it's like its own beast. But really it all fits into this general thing. So these foundational steps like taking a probiotic are helpful for everyone. I don't,
Yeah.
like no matter what you tell me is your issue in a conversation somewhere, I'm going to ask you if you take probiotics because they're all totally related, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, I know what I got to order now.
And that's the point behind the premium starter kit as well, because it's basically all of the most popular essential oils that cover that range of body functions. So we talked
Yeah.
about skin, right? We talked about respiratory system, digestive system, emotions, sleep-wake cycle, right? So we covered muscles and joints, right? So we covered basically all of the different body systems.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have any issue with any different body system, there's an oil in there that's going to be beneficial for you. But also, because your body needs all of those to function well, anyone using those oils is going to see a benefit because you're just supporting all of the different body systems that need to be functioning properly.
Great about it, right? Because it's almost like the starter kit really is. First off, there's so much in it. I didn't even show the diffuser, but there's a big diffuser in here too, which is gorgeous. But what's so good about it is it feels like for someone like me, everything I do is about ease and simplicity and convenience too, but more like I don't want to be overwhelmed. That's always the thing that stops me from anything. Even my whole business is based on it. The reason I use Squarespace, I don't want to deal with the overwhelm of WordPress. So having a starter kit that's like, okay, this is just start here. This is everything you need. And it's almost like what you're saying. If I just use this and I work with this, I'm guaranteed almost to see all the benefits of it, and then I can explore more, and it won't be so scary.
Exactly. Yes.
Especially with your course, because you put out so much content that is so helpful. But having that sort of I think it's 20 days, right? Where you can go through and you can learn all is just really, really helpful.
Yeah, and
I would just sit in with this and be like, oh, this looks good. And what I would do is I would smell them from time to time. I wouldn't be making products with them, right. Even if I'm making products. I wouldn't be ingesting them. I wouldn't be using them in the situations where they can actually support me in that moment with whatever it is my body needs in that moment.
Yeah, and this is powerful too. Learning when you're having a good day, learning about the essential oils and what they're for, so that when you're having a bad day, it's not overwhelming to use lavender or digest or lemon, right? So I'm all about educating you now so that when you have an issue, you're not trying to get educated to fix the issue, right? Let's have a wellness kit that's for you that you know that you can use whenever you have an issue, so that it's as easy as grabbing Advil or as easy as eating cookies to make you feel better, right? So that it's already in your brain as an option. And this goes for essential oils and crystals and meditation and affirmations. The more you use them daily, the more you can also use them in those moments where you can barely think to do something.
Right. Because that's when you're not going to even be able to process that information. Whereas if you've got your little toolkit here, you can just go and be like, okay, this is what's going on. Here's what I need right now. And you can feel better without having, as you said, going through that whole thing. Because it's like when you have a panic attack or an anxiety attack, or you're feeling those emotions and you are like, okay, what can I do to fix this right now? Because I'm freaking out. But your mind is going at 1,000 miles an hour. That's the last time you want that. That's the last moment where you're like, I need to meditate. You're too far in it at that point to go and do all the research and figure it out. And you're not going to get the benefit from it then, instead of it being and it could be an enjoyable experience, I imagine too. If you have set up almost that system where it's okay, well, this is my bedtime routine. You can start to enjoy that process. Even if it's a case of you're feeling worried or you're stressed and you need to reach for those oils, it becomes like you're taking a bad emotion and you're kind of pouring love on it and
Mm-hmm.
nurturing yourself to the point where it's like no longer a bad situation. Like it's enjoyable and you don't freak out so much.
Absolutely.
Kind of like what you said with the asthma and having that in your pocket.
Yeah, a feeling of control by rubbing it on my chest
Yeah.
before I go on a bike ride, right? Versus a feeling of panic if
Yeah.
I go on a bike ride and have trouble breathing. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the same thing is true for really having any routine. So in the Onward and Upward group, the coaching group, I have that routine for us of Monday intention setting, Wednesday check-in, Saturday self-care, Sunday releasing. Because if you're doing that every week, you're not building up this mountain of negative energy. If you're releasing that every Sunday and setting intentions Monday, you're letting go of what's holding you back and you're getting farther, right? So that if you're constantly working on something, it's not like you forget to do this work for 2 months and now all of a sudden, instead of making progress, you're digging yourself out of a hole, right?
Yeah, which is never a fun situation to be in.
Yeah, it's like it works, it helps, it gets you out of the hole, but you'd rather be making progress, right? So
right, and like you're not going from a bad place. Like if you're already doing this, you're constantly building, and so your life is getting better all the time. And you know, like if I keep building this habit, if I keep doing this, my life's going to continue to get better, rather than having like this roller coaster of like, now I have to crawl up. Okay,
absolutely.
now I'm at even, and then you do good, and then you stop, and you're back down there again, because that's where you can get disheartened. It's also where you can make excuses and be like, well, these don't work. Right. Or this doesn't work for me. Meditation doesn't work for me. That's like a common one, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's like, well, it does, but you just didn't keep at it.
Right. If you used lavender for 3 days or meditated for 3 days and then didn't do it for 3 months, it's not going to work. That's not right. Yeah. We're not magic pills, right? Yeah. You have to be using them for them to affect you. Absolutely. And that's why explaining the starter kit and doing the 22-day challenge is so important, because the longer you don't do it, the harder it is to pull out the box and get started, right? If you start immediately, then you're more likely to get that momentum going. Yeah. So I think the only other thing in that kit is in the front pouch. You what?
Mm-hmm.
So there's like
I just said thank you for explaining it. So I have this. Is this what we're...
Yeah, so that tells you about the different oils, and I think there are some little sample packs. So that's if you keep those in your purse and you meet someone who is explaining to you something that they have going on, and now that you're using essential oils, you know what would help them. You give them a little sample, and you allow them to experience. Yeah, so like lavender, right? Someone's having a stressful day, here's some lavender. So it's gifting to you the ability to gift to somebody else, so that you can help them in that moment.
I love that because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just like, it kind of goes from everything you told me about Young Living. Is like, it's a very community-based company, where they're about supporting each other. And so like just being able to do that, to be able to give that to somebody, it's kind of plays into that a little bit.
Absolutely, because their belief is that every household needs to have essential oils, that every household needs to be using these natural products, right? So for all of those benefits. And so their passion is just to share. And so that's the whole business side, which I do as part of my wellness coaching and selling the essential oils. You can take it from a business mentality if you want to, but it's still very focused on sharing. But most people, what they do is just use the products all the time and then share with a friend. And if their friend signs up, then you get a thank you check from Young Living. But they don't do it they don't do it in order to get something. They just do it because they want to help, right? So the culture that they encourage is that sharing and caring culture. Yeah. Which I appreciate so much, especially company. They don't have to do it that way, but they do, and that's what makes a huge difference for me, for sure. So what are questions that you have?
It's like that quote, sharing is caring.
Absolutely, that's it. And I tell people,
well, you've answered most of my questions.
Awesome. I mean, I think basically we've covered like the top 3 uses for all of those oils. You can really go onto my Glittering Livings blog or Ivy and Light 101, the free group I have on Facebook, and learn a bunch more about healing with essential oils, right? Part of your body's naturally process. But that is really all you need to get started, because even just applying them for one of those uses, you'll see a benefit, and then you'll fall more and more in love with that. The last thing I do want to end with is, so I've got here my water, and when you first start using essential, because part of their process is enhancing your detoxifying system, right? Your body's ability to get rid of gunk. And so you may feel some of those detox effects just like you would if you stop eating sugar, or if you go on a detox and change your other food habits, right? So because it's improving those parts of your body's system, drinking more water helps you to flush that stuff out so that you don't feel those side effects as much. But if that's like one thing that people do feel when they start using essential oils, any negative side effect, that's generally it. It's the detox symptoms that go away very quickly, but you do want to drink water, just like if you get a massage, right? Or acupuncture. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense, right? Water is good for you anyway. I always have to make a note. Make sure you drink. Usually when you feel not good, water helps everything.
Exactly. Yes. It's a good excuse to make yourself drink the water you should be drinking anyway, right?
Yes, exactly. I had to get like a bottle with the little, this is why I definitely need childproof oils. I had to get a bottle with the like markers on it, because if I don't have that, I won't drink enough. Like I just won't. For the longest time, I was buying like big bottles of plastic water, because I was like, well, I know I have to just finish this today. And then I started to get super conscious about how bad that is for the environment. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. But just having the bottle like remind me of like, okay, I need to drink this. Okay, that's one. I need to get 4 of these down and I'll be good.
Right, exactly. Well, that's hence my giant glass, right?
Yes.
So if I can keep filling this up throughout the day versus a small glass, I'll get a lot more more
it's just easier, right? It doesn't feel like such a chore to get it done.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for explaining it all to me and answering my 101 different questions, because now I'm not scared of it. Well, first off, I'm not scared of it. Two, I wish you could feel how like the difference. Like I can't really articulate that, but like even just smelling them as we've gone through it, I could tell you like it totally has like affected my mood and how I feel in my body. Like even like before I came on, my stomach was like a little bloated, and I haven't really even eaten or anything, but I just wasn't feeling amazing. And like I physically feel the difference of it. So that's not after prolonged use or anything, but it just shows you like it does make a difference.
Absolutely. And you're breathing it in. That is the quickest way to get to your emotion center in your brain. And because emotions and hormones and digestion and all that stuff are so connected, it makes a huge difference. Absolutely. If I feel funky, that's the first thing I do. As I go, first I say, did I put my crystals on this morning? And then I say, did I do my essential oils this morning? And almost always the answer is no, I didn't. And that's why I feel crappy, because I forgot, right? So then I go do it and then I feel better.
Yeah, it's the little things. Well, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. And I'm so excited to use everything, and including the probiotic, which I think I definitely need to be buying and getting. So I'm excited to try that as well.
I can't wait to hear how that helps. I can't wait to see.
I will have to do like this is the before, and I'll have to do like 30 days. This is the after.
Well, and
I'll have tons of energy.
Yeah, and even I wish I had done my face. I wish I had like paid attention to that too, because it does for your skin, improving the look and feel and all that, but also just the inflammation, right? We see our faces every day and we don't pay attention to our bodies all the time either, especially because we do a lot of these sorts of videos. So if I had it to do over again, I'd do a body shot and a face picture, just to show myself the difference, so that when I complain about breaking out, I can say, well, did you take your probiotic for the past 3 days, or did you forget? Right. But yes, well, thank you for jumping
Even
on with
that
me.
makes a difference, right?
Absolutely.
You're very, very welcome.
I
had a good time. I always have a good time when we're on video live, whether
absolutely.
it's like publicly or privately.
Super fun. I love that we can do this across the waters. And hopefully,
yes, that's so cool.
Yeah, hopefully this is great for people too, as they are getting their own kits and they can go through this and then have kind of the basics before they dive into that 22-day challenge. Because I know sometimes it's easier to hear me explain it than it is to read a whole bunch of words. So hopefully this will benefit people going on into the future as well. But thank you so much for helping me do that and for taking the time to get together with me.
Welcome.
And I guess we will
Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who watched.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you guys. If I missed your comments, I don't know, because I can only see what I can see, but if I missed anything, I'll go back and comment. Or if you have a question, post it below here later and I'll come back and I'll respond either on Facebook or on YouTube. What I'll do in the text on YouTube and on Facebook is give you a couple of links that I mentioned. So I've talked about probiotics a lot, which I'll connect to a video on that. And then also to IV and Light 101, where I have an essential oils course. So if you're interested in learning more about it, you can go and do that course before you make your decision on whether or not you want to get started, or just reach out and tell me questions you have. I do the premium starter kit a lot for people because, as we said, it covers everything. But there are times also where I will talk to someone and they're dealing with just psoriasis, or they're dealing with just a thyroid issue and they want to tackle that first. And so we can also get just those products for someone and, tell them exactly how to use that so that they can see those benefits. So there's multiple ways to get started. And I always like to tailor it to everyone's particular need, because that's the whole point, right? So, you do
it very, very well. And anyone who's not in Erin's group, you have to join, because she puts out so much amazing content. It's insane what you do. I say it all the time, but it really is incredible. Like the support you provide, the resources you provide, the education you provide, and the way you break it down in an easy, digestible way as well. It's so valuable to people.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for helping me to express that better on the website. The next time you guys will see our faces, we will probably be telling you some more exciting information on how that website is going. And we're trying to create a way to make it easier for more than just me. Chloe has been working on a project alongside this to make it easier for other people to create a beautiful website. So, fingers crossed we'll have that for you guys pretty soon, and we can give you more exciting news about this collab in the near future.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll let you go for today, but thank you so much, and let's do it again soon.
Thank you. Yes, sounds good.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.